At first glance, Jackie Waller's life looked like the kind many people would admire. She was a mother of three, a hard-working professional, and someone deeply devoted to her children. To relatives and friends, she was warm, caring, funny, and resilient. But behind closed doors, her marriage had become a place of fear, control, and escalating danger. What began as a troubled relationship would eventually end in one of the most disturbing domestic murder cases to come out of Missouri. Jackie Waller was a mother from St. Genevieve, Missouri. For much of her adult life, she tried to hold her family together while carrying far more than her share of responsibility. She worked hard, raised triplets, and managed the demands of home life, all while dealing with a husband whom her family never truly trusted. That husband was Clay Waller. According to those closest to Jackie, Clay always gave off troubling signals. Some found him deceptive, others simply disliked him from the moment they met him. Jackie's relatives later described him as manipulative and emotionally difficult. Although he had once worked briefly as a sheriff's deputy, he moved from one job to another and never seemed to offer Jackie the stability she deserved. Instead, much of the burden of supporting the household fell on her shoulders. When Jackie became pregnant and later gave birth to triplets, she embraced motherhood fully. Family members remembered how naturally she adapted to the chaos and exhaustion of raising three young children at once. Even when things were overwhelming, she kept going. But those around her also noticed something else. She was not only caring for her children, she was also, in many ways, caring for her husband like a fourth child. Relatives said Clay contributed little and placed even more emotional and practical strain on Jackie's life. Over time, the marriage grew worse. Jackie began spending more time with her sister Cheryl and Cheryl's family, partly because she needed support, and partly because her relationship with Clay was unraveling. She learned of his affairs, and according to family accounts, he denied wrongdoing whenever confronted. More alarmingly, Jackie told loved ones that Clay had become abusive, both emotionally and physically. She wanted out of the marriage, but she also understood the danger of leaving an abusive partner too quickly. She reportedly believed she had to separate carefully in order to survive. Her fears were not vague. Jackie began documenting threats on her work computer, creating a record of what she believed Clay was capable of doing. Those entries painted a horrifying picture. She wrote that he warned one of them might not live to see their children grow up. In another entry, she recorded that he told her divorce would amount to a death sentence. Perhaps most chilling of all, she documented threats against the children, including a horrifying statement that he could take them on a fishing trip, kill them, and then tell her they had drowned just to watch her reaction. These were not just angry outbursts. To Jackie, they were signs of genuine danger. Eventually, circumstances seemed to open a path for escape. Clay lost another job, and the couple also lost their house. Jackie saw an opportunity in that upheaval. She moved in with Cheryl and Cheryl's husband, Bob, taking the triplets with her. Clay moved more than an hour away to Jackson, Missouri, staying in a home owned by a friend. Both Jackie and Clay began seeing other people, and Jackie started believing the separation might finally lead to a peaceful divorce. For a brief period, she reportedly felt hopeful, as though things were finally beginning to line up in her favor. That hope would not last. On June 1st, after Memorial Day weekend, Jackie planned to meet Clay to discuss final divorce matters. Their son Maddox had spent time with Clay, and the plan was for Jackie to meet him after stopping at the attorney's office. Jackie called Cheryl and said she had left the attorney and was on her way to pick up Maddox from Clay's place before heading home. That was the last time Cheryl ever spoke with her sister. Hours passed, and Jackie still did not return. Cheryl immediately sensed something was terribly wrong. She called Jackie repeatedly, but there was no answer. She then contacted Clay directly and accused him of harming Jackie. His response did nothing to calm her fears. Instead of offering a meaningful explanation, he brushed off the concern. Cheryl acted fast. She drove to Jackson and told police she believed Clay had killed her sister. Although Jackie had only been missing for a short time, law enforcement took the report seriously because of the surrounding circumstances. Officers soon interviewed Clay, and his account immediately raised suspicion. He claimed he had spent time with Jackie during the day, that they had argued, and that she later walked away. But investigators quickly found problems in his story. One of the earliest major discoveries was Jackie's abandoned car on the side of an interstate, with one tire flat. At first, it might have suggested a roadside emergency or even an abduction. But investigators noticed something important. The rim showed no signs of damage, which indicated the tire had likely been punctured while the vehicle was stationary, not while being driven. In other words, the scene appeared staged. Search warrants followed. Police examined Jackie's car, Clay's truck, and the house where he had been staying. Early on, they found what looked like blood evidence, but part of it turned out to be fish blood. Investigators later learned Clay had deliberately smeared fish blood inside his truck and even recorded himself doing it, apparently to test whether police would mishandle evidence. It was a bizarre and chilling attempt to interfere with the investigation, but investigators also found far more serious signs inside the house. Hallway carpet had been removed. Suspected blood was found on walls. A crawl space in the basement appeared disturbed. When law enforcement searched further, they discovered pieces of the missing carpet and padding hidden beneath the floorboards. Several of those pieces were soaked with blood, and testing confirmed it was Jackie's. Even then, one painful obstacle remained. There was no body. Without Jackie's remains, prosecutors knew a murder case would be much harder to prove. So investigators focused on reconstructing Jackie's final day and gathering every piece of circumstantial evidence they could. Surveillance footage became critical. Jackie was seen on camera during the day she disappeared, including at an ATM. That footage is believed to show the last confirmed time she was alive. Clay, meanwhile, appeared later in a toy store, wearing different clothes than earlier that day. His truck was seen with a trash can in the back and a small boat in tow. Later footage showed him washing the boat at a car wash. Behavior investigators believe suggested he was cleaning away evidence. Publicly released images of the boat led to another clue. Witnesses reported seeing a boat matching that description near a remote Mississippi River sandbar known as Devil's Island. Search teams combed that area multiple times, but initially found nothing. As the case continued, investigators kept close watch on Clay. Rather than showing concern, he reportedly mocked searchers, taunted those trying to find Jackie, and acted as though the investigation was a game. He also made online threats toward Cheryl after she was awarded custody of the triplets. Those threats led to federal charges and his arrest, even before murder charges could be filed. Still, prosecutors wanted justice for Jackie herself. Over nearly 2 years, they compiled blood evidence, surveillance records, witness accounts, threatening statements, and proof that Clay had actively obstructed the investigation. Eventually, he was charged with murder and tampering with evidence. Yet the family still wanted more than a conviction. They wanted Jackie brought home. That desire led to a plea agreement. Clay agreed to plead guilty to second-degree murder in exchange for a 20-year sentence and, crucially, for revealing where Jackie's body had been buried. He led investigators back to Devil's Island, a place they had already searched. At first, even then, it was unclear whether he was telling the truth. He could not identify the exact location, but he had mentioned putting fertilizer on the burial site. Investigators knew that too much fertilizer can kill vegetation. Looking over the area, they noticed one dead tree among the others. Beneath that tree, they found Jackie's remains. The discovery finally allowed her family to bring her home, though in the most heartbreaking way imaginable. It also forced them to face another terrible task, telling the children that their mother was dead and that their father was responsible. As part of his plea deal, Clay gave a videotaped confession, admitting he had threatened Jackie and dug her grave the day before the murder. But even then, he tried to excuse his actions, blame Jackie, and downplay the violence, despite evidence that contradicted his story. His punishment did not stop there. Because he crossed state lines before the killing with the intent to commit domestic violence, he also received an additional 35-year federal sentence to begin after his murder term. One of the most heartbreaking moments came when Jackie's son, Maddox, spoke directly to his father in court, expressing the pain he caused by taking their mother and destroying their family. Jackie is remembered not for how she died, but for how she lived, kind, caring, and deeply loved. Though her family was forever changed, they made sure her memory lived on. Jackie Waller's story is a tragic reminder of the dangers of domestic violence. Share your thoughts in the comments, and for more real stories like this, like and subscribe.